just a little bit brisk and icy. Frozen leaves on this bush this morning as I awake and head to Myrtle Beach. Just down the ways a bit. This palm tree frozen as well. It didn't snow last night, but this is all ice. And the windshield on my car is accumulation of ice as well. Look at that. That's completely engulfed in ice. It's only about, I don't know, 28 degrees right now. It'll warm up. I turned my defrost on. I cranked the car up and also turned the defrost on. You can see the windshield pretty icy. And then the window over here as well. As a recording of the Saturday, the window's not working. January 22nd. Yep, the window's not even going down yet. Gotta wait a little bit till it gets warm in here and thaws it out. January 22nd, 2022 as the recording of this. Take a look at this. This is the ice. It's not the window on the side. I pulled the window down just a little bit. The ice. I don't want to take it down too far. Look at this. I should probably have an ice scraper, but I'm just being patient for the defrost to work. Slowly but surely. It's toasty in this car right now, but outside, not so toasty. Look at that. It's so fun. Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here. Who goes out to the beach? Myrtle Beach, right there, is the shoreline. I'll walk over there in 28-degree weather in a winter storm that is rolling through. Thankfully, there is no precipitation at the moment, no sleet, no snow, but the roads are slick. In fact, walking from my car to this point, I realized these tennis shoes are not the best for traction. But driving over here wasn't too bad because they put ice on the roads. This thoroughfare is relatively empty. The Ferris wheel, what do they call it? The fun wheel, which is over here, you'll be able to see, might not be open. In fact, I don't know if anything is going to be open today, but that's not going to stop me from wandering around. I'm inviting you to join me. I have to put my hand over the microphone just to cup the wind, because even with the little fluffy thing on there that kind of protects from the wind noise, it's very gusty. Join me. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I don't know if anything's going to be open. Shall you? And of course add in the wind chill factor, and it feels a lot colder than 28. Brisk. There's the water right there. You see the waves crashing along the shoreline. In fact, I don't even know if I'm gonna walk out onto the boardwalk part. This wood is completely engulfed in ice. Look at all this is ice. This is not paint. This is ice all right through here. Look at this. This is all ice. Isn't that wild? I just asked this gentleman that's walking by. He said that Alabama was the house band here. The band, the group, Alabama, here in South Carolina from 1973 to 1980 here at the Bowery, known as the 8th wonder of the world. I was thinking maybe a coffee stand would be open, but no coffee. This is not open. I have to find somewhere else to get a piping hot caffeinated beverage. It is needed today. Also up there on the side it says, the original home of Supergroup, Alabama. Look at this right here. This is how much precipitation froze last night. This is a little icicle. Whoop, dropped the icicle off, but look at that. I'm just fascinated by nature. And of course there's a lot of workers out, probably a lot of power lines down and whatnot. There is an arcade called the Fun Plaza right here. Ooh, I almost just slipped. I almost just slipped right there. Oh my gosh. You wouldn't think it was that slick, but there's about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch of ice right on there. Holy cow. Just gotta be careful when traversing around the Fun Plaza area. Right over here is the official Myrtle Beach Welcome Center. The official Myrtle Beach Welcome Center. Right over there. And of course Ripley's on the end, not open. Lots of swimwear. I don't think a lot of swimwear will be sold today. I want to go over to this gift cove up here as well. So some of the ice starting to break off there. I gotta have my hands pulled up into my hoodie that's underneath the overcoat that I have on. The clicking noise is this neon, or the light bulbs from the Boardwalk arcade. Kind of has a Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Branson, Missouri vibe as well through here. As stated today, as a recording of this, is January 22nd, this Saturday, and it's only about 9:30. I was thinking that they would adhere to their hours, that they were going to be open at 9:30, but because of winter weather hours, it's not open today till noon. And I'm here doing family stuff. My mom flew into town, my aunt lives here, and there's some things going on, so I'm only filming in the mornings and then doing family stuff the rest of the day. You know, personal stuff, so won't be able to go in here today, but I would like to return at some point. I mean, it makes sense that nothing's open because no one is down here. And that was the main reason I kind of rolled up here, or down here, staying south just about 5 or 10 miles from this area, was to go inside the Gay Dolphin over here, which has been in existence for over 75 years. This place has been open. And I guess back in the day, you used to be able to go inside. It's a kind of a interesting, quirky kitchen gift shop. But you used to be able to go up in that little staircase to the top. I'm not sure if that's even allowed. Nonetheless, I can't even get inside there today because of the winter weather. They are not open at the moment. In fact, Mr. Dino here at the Ripley's 4D Theater, 5D Theater, isn't even roaring. I don't blame you. I do not blame you, Dinah. It's cold. This is something out of a Charlton Heston movie. Omega Man? I mean, there's a couple cars going by. I've seen 1 or 2 people walking around. Like, place your bets. Chances of the wheel being open? Slim to none. For good reason. The statue here is called the Goddess of the Sea. And it's a mermaid with 2 dolphins. And this is the Sky Wheel. They have one of these in Gatlinburg as well. Let's have one of these in Atlanta. It's like there's some sort of a drop ride over there and a slingshot, kind of like International Drive in Central Florida in Orlando. Tried talking to my mom into coming out into the blissful cold, freezing temperatures. And she said, well, we got plans a little bit later after lunch. So you just go out. I'm gonna stay in the hotel where it's warm. And I think she was the wise one in this situation. I could walk over to the pier. I think I'm gonna do that, but I am not gonna traverse this way. Again, because of the ice that is down here along the wood, I would slip and fall. That would not be good. There's a lot of ice on the concrete, but there seems to be more accumulated. Probably because there's air. So when you go over a bridge when you're driving, you'll see the signs that say, bridge freezes before road. That probably applies, you know, to a dock like this, to a boardwalk, because there's air underneath here. So the colder temperatures, it freezes up more than something like this, which is like a hard surface. I'm not a meteorologist. Treading very lightly until I can see where the ice, because that's so slick. Very deceiving on how slick that is. But see, this is dry, so I'm gonna stay on the dry area. Where it looks wet, it's not water, that's ice. Lots of ice, so stay where it's dry. I'm learning that, just kind of follow the dry patterns. That's my goal. I should probably zip this up a little bit more. There it is. The fun wheel, Gay Dolphin, gift shops, nothing as of this time frame in the morning, 10 a.m.-ish, maybe a little later, 10 a.m. right about now. No one out here, just this officer going by in his patrol car. Can't even step inside anywhere to get out of the elements. Like going in the arcade. In here, nothing is over $5.99. But even if you had $6, it's all closed up. I'm pretty much stating the obvious, and it makes perfect sense. And there's no tourists down here. I'm probably the only non-local that's even wandering this street. So why would there's no reason to have employees out you know, having payroll opening a store because they would make no money. A couple people walking across the road down there too, but only a couple. It's supposed to get above freezing around later this afternoon. Maybe. I doubt that will bring out people in droves, however. A couple of vehicles are traversing the landscape. Just going by, not many though. All right, Peach Corner. You've been open since 1937, as well as the gift shop down at the end. Been open a long time in this area. Have to return one day. Preferably in the summer, when everything's quite operation. Back in my car now. Found some coffee at a convenience store. You can see the icicles there dangling from my side mirror, but here in the road, this patch of water is not frozen. It might be thawing. It's still 28 degrees according to what my car is stating. And it looks as if they're just tearing down, probably not building a carnival here in this parking lot. I'm driving over to a Simpsons area where they have a Kwik-E-Mart. Been wanting to check that out since it opened a few years ago, but I have never been in this area, so now's the time. It might be open. See what happens when I get over there. Yeah, this is like a carnival. It's a carnival rides through here. Looks like the wind has toppled this down off. Yeah, that thing has fallen off of the trailer over there. That ticket booth or whatever that is, falling over. The wind is falling it over. Visitor information. That's what. Oh no, this is just visitor information for Myrtle Beach. This little shopping area. You see the Ferris wheel over there in the distance still. There's a Tiki Jim's right there, and on the roof that is not snow. Well, it might be light snow, but I believe that's still ice. And the ice really doesn't bother me, other than the fact that you could slip on it. But the cold weather, not too terribly bad. As long as the wind's not blowing out of control. Obviously when you're driving, you have to look for the ice that's on the road as well. As long as you stay on some of the main thoroughfares, it's usually pretty broken up from cars driving over it. But the Kwik-E-Mart is right over here. Oh, this is so cool. I feel like I'm walking into one of the Universal Studios parks, the Simpsons land. Or Universal Studios Hollywood. Before you go down to the lower lot, they have the Simpsons land. Simpsonsville or whatever it's called. Some kind of Simpsons themed area. Used to be the Back to the Future ride. Now it's a Simpsons ride. Years ago it was Back to the Future. But they have a Kwik-E-Mart there as well. This is called Broadway at the Beach. Interesting. That's the name of the little section it's in. South Carolina's #1 destination. Of course, right now that does not apply because I might be the only person out here. I think I'm the only person out here. Got a crab shack over there. And there is a Aztec Theater, a Simpsons 4D show. I would watch that if it was open. And the Kwik-E-Mart right next to it. That is cool. Oh, there's Bart right there as the ticket seller. Bart Simpson. He's Bart Simpson. Who the heck are you? There's Maggie. This is so cool. How's it going, Bart? Got the money down below here. Got the squishy you got from the Kwik-E-Mart. Paparazzi out and about over here as well. Very cool theming. It's Marge and Homer, Maggie. This is cool. Wish it was open. Looks as if they have placed some salt upon the ground. And I was talking to a gentleman who is an employee inside the Kwik-E-Mart, and he said that they are going to attempt to open today at some point. Maybe not at the time it's stated. He said he's the only one on staff. But that'd be neat if they were open while I was in the in this section. Got the Buzz Cola. See if I can walk over there a little bit closer. Ooh, that wind's starting to. Look at that, the seagulls up. Oh, and the Ripley's Aquarium's over there too. I was thinking about doing that while I was here at some point, because that's indoors. Won't be today. Oh no. And no loitering. Simpsons, such a classic show, been on for so long. I love Futurama too. I think in a way I kind of like Futurama a little more than Simpsons, but you gotta respect the Simpsons. It's pretty genius. Cold out here, isn't it? You know, I knew a man with a wooden leg named Smith. Not sure what your name is, sir. What was the name of his other leg? Got this to keep me warm while I wait. Just gotta cross my fingers that they open. Maybe something will open. If anything's gonna open, I hope it's the Kwik-E-Mart. I get some merchandise. Check out the convenience store from The Simpsons. In South Carolina. I'm not in Florida. I'm not in LA. I'm not at Universal Studios. There is a Simpsons real-life Kwik-E-Mart here, South Carolina. Who knew? I'm the first in line. First one's here. First one's here. I'm gonna drive around for just a little bit, see what I can see, and then pop back in before they open. They're not open yet. The employee was inside, and gonna come back in just a little bit, try to get inside the Simpsons area. It's kind of giving me some Old Town Kissimmee vibes here. Obviously none of this is probably gonna be open. Just realizing that is not the same Ferris wheel that I was at a couple miles ago. I thought maybe that was, you know, off on the horizon, but this is a totally different Ferris wheel I was looking at. And look how close it is to the WonderWorks building. There's a WonderWorks in Pigeon Forge. There's also one in Orlando on International Drive. So it's a chain of a very unusual upside down mansion home. There's one here as well. And a couple Ferris wheels in town. I like to ride one of these Ferris wheels before I leave. I'll check out of the hotel that I'm at on the 26th. Ah yes, and also a Hollywood Wax Museum. Seen one of those in Tennessee as well. And I used to live near one on Hollywood Boulevard. There's one of these kind of by the Chinese Theater on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Highland. This one, like a couple others, has King Kong up there on the side of the building. Any relation to you, Bigfoot? You guys don't talk much anymore? I get it. Years ago, one of these geese, well, not one of these specific geese, but a goose or a duck-like creature similar to these chased after me. So I'm staying in the car this time. Geese. You can't get me now, fowls. It's nice to see you though. Still some ice on the window. And now back over in front of the Kwik-E-Mart. Usually opens up at 11, but today opening a little bit later. Have to wait for the other employees to arrive due to the ice on the roads. A lot of things. Well, thankfully, this is open, unlike 99% of the rest of Myrtle Beach. But inside, you could tell, it is just like out of The Simpsons. You got an array of beverages that you can get in here. Of course, the donuts, but also merchandise. Lots of accessories, lots of items that you can take as souvenirs. I feel like I'm at Universal Studios on either coast. And Rick, the supervisor, very nice guy, kind enough to show me around. Started off by going over to the 4D Theater and explaining to me the company that created this is the same one that does a lot of theme park rides and attractions. Might be mispronouncing this, but called Siamese Eyeworks. If you're familiar with the old Jimmy Neutron, Shrek 3D, even the new Kung Fu Panda, those are the types of attraction that this is, where you watch the film and then the seats kind of gyrate and move, and there's bubbles, and there's 4D experience and lights and sounds all in the theater. That is what this is, that's adjacent to the convenience store. So pretty pretty neat that it is affiliated with the theme parks in a roundabout way. And then after that, walking out of the theater, going kind of into this little hallway that there is, and you see in the murals painted on the side of the wall. So you're exiting not through a gift shop, but you're exiting into the Kwik-E-Mart convenience store. Not a gas station, but a convenience store. And then once you go in, you realize there's coffee, and there's also beverages, waters, accessories like that. And the theming is on point. It really, and the fact that I'm really the only one in here, with the exception of the employees, is pretty cool. I gotta have the whole place to myself as I wander around. And they even have the Bort name tag. You know, the mispronunciation of Bart. They have the Bort name tag, which is very popular. I know at Universal it's very popular and usually sells out pretty quick on the mugs and whatnot. Also, Rick was saying that there's an assortment of products that you can't really get at the parks anymore, and they make them here, and sometimes the parks will buy them from this location and ship them over there, which is kind of interesting. And the donuts are the same donuts. The Lard Lad donuts are the same donuts that you can get in the parks, except these are made locally as well. I think the whole thing's pretty interesting. I've never been inside a Kwik-E-Mart outside of the theme parks. This is pretty fascinating. And I'm glad they let me come inside a little bit early, walk around, you know, before anybody else arrived. Even though, granted, there wasn't really hardly anybody else here. But as I was leaving, some people started to show up. So they officially opened the doors at noon, but they opened the doors a little bit early for me to let me walk around. So that was really nice of them. Yeah, South Carolina, Kwik-E-Mart, Myrtle Beach, on a freezing cold 28-degree day. I feel like I'm in the Simpsons land. The Simpsons themed area. Like I said, who knew? And I did purchase some merchandise. Didn't get a whole lot. And I was asking the gentleman that showed me around, Rick, if they had anything specific to Myrtle Beach. He said no. So I got the Bart drinking the squishy right there. Ice cold because it is kind of cold outside. And he said there's nothing that they had. He said he kind of wishes that they had something that specifically said Myrtle Beach Simpsons on it, but they do not. But still pretty dang cool. I'm not sure if the shirt that I just purchased they have at Universal, but nonetheless, now I have a Bart Simpson shirt. He's Bart Simpson. Who the heck are you? Don't have a cow, man. And also I voiced over all going inside. You used to be the people exiting out now, but I voiced over all the music because it's very music driven inside. So I kind of talked over that whole thing. But yeah, pretty neat experience inside there. And the thing that's kind of funny too is I felt like I'm in a theme park, and I went to reach for my annual pass because I'm a Universal Studios Hollywood annual pass holder. I almost said, do you accept annual passes? Do you have an annual pass holder discount? This isn't a theme park. It's kind of funny how your mind kind of goes back to Universal Studios Hollywood. Simpsons Land. Is it Simpsons Land or Simpsonsville? Some kind of Simpsons town. I have returned back to where I started. This ice is falling out of the palm tree, which means it is over 30. Oh, it's falling. Oh, just a step back. So it is under 32 degrees, or over 32 degrees now, so the ice is melting. Oh, it's all falling out of the trees. And that's going to do it for today. Back at my hotel, I picked my mom up. We're going to go over to some family that we have here in town, do some family stuff, some personal stuff. Not everyone wants to be in videos, so I've been trying to go out every morning while here until the 26th and just document some stuff around town. It's kind of a fun thing to do in the morning before doing some family things. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog. This ice is falling out of this tree. The vlog. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. The vlog is. It is raining ice out of the trees. Look, it's still iced over here, but it's melting. Are those petunias? The vlog is over.